Hey friends, welcome to the Plaid X2 channel. My name is John. On this channel we talk all things physical media, movies, music, and books. If you're into that kind of thing, go ahead and subscribe down below for more of that kind of content. Friends, this is part 2. Huck from Huck's Pop Culture Cafe released a challenge. It is now a 4-part challenge, and this is part 2. Top 25 actors and one of their films from your collection. So I've got 25 actors. They're my all-time favorites, and I do have one ensemble pick as well. So Huck, thank you so much for issuing this challenge. This was a ton of fun. I really enjoy making lists, and so I had a blast putting these together, and I jumped ahead. The moment you introduced these other parts, I jumped ahead and made my lists. I was so excited. So friends, these are my top 25 actors and one film from their filmography that if we're on the desert island, these are the 25 films I'm bringing from 25 of my favorite actors. Again, friends, if you're unfamiliar with the challenge, head over to Huck's page. All that information is down below, and check out the challenge. All that link will be down there. And this is the deal. The tough part of this challenge is from the A to Z to the actors, actresses, directors, you can't show the same film twice. And so it's a really cool challenge to add in the middle of this larger challenge. But anyway, I'm excited. Here are my top 25 actors. All right, so the very first pick I'm going with absolute all-time legend, and this is one of my favorite films of his, and it is a release that I love. It's the only Arrow film. No, I think I have two Arrow films. This is a one of two that I own. It's Robert De Niro in Ronin. I love this film. The artwork on this is absolutely gorgeous. Underneath of it's maybe the one you might remember from the Blu-ray and DVD. Absolutely love this film. Robert De Niro is a legend. He 100% makes my top 25. Cannot go anywhere with one of his films. Another one, this is legend for me, and this is no surprise if you followed this channel for any length of time, and it is Stallone in Rocky. Gotta have this. Absolutely gotta have this one. Sylvester Stallone. Next one, I don't have a ton of his work in my collection, but I've seen a ton of his stuff, and he is legend as well. We'll see how many times I say legend in this video. It is Jack Nicholson in As Good as It Gets, and he is brilliant. Everybody knows that. He's phenomenal. I needed him to be in my top 25 for sure. Next is another all-time favorite of mine, and it is Tom Hanks, and this is Saving Private Ryan. So this is actually the 4K, but I had the Blu-ray slipcover. I didn't have the 4K slipcover, so that's what we're doing. So anyway, Tom Hanks absolutely makes top 25. Next, an actor who I really love his stuff and his work, and it is Brad Pitt, and the film is Fury. And if you've never seen this film, really, really great film, highly recommend it, but Brad Pitt makes my top 25. Next one is Michael B. Jordan in my all-time favorite film of his. I've seen quite a bit of his work, but this one is Creed, and again, I get some more Stallone, more Rocky action, but Michael B. Jordan in Creed. Next is a film that I really, really love, and I picked it up maybe a year or so ago. I love his work, and this film was just so good. It was on my wish list for quite a while. So glad I finally got it. This one's from 1950, and the actor here is Humphrey Bogart in A Lonely Place. In a Lonely Place, put out by Criterion. So really glad to have that in the collection, and of course Humphrey Bogart makes top 25. Next one is a guy whose comedy he's most famous for, but his dramatic work is what I like the most. And this film in particular, I think, my personal opinion, is his absolute best. And it is Adam Sandler in Reign Over Me. This, I think, is his best work, and I love it. I did see a bunch of his other dramatic work, almost all of his other dramatic work, but I think this is his absolute best. Absolutely love it. Adam Sandler, Reign Over Me. Next is a guy he's so intense all the time, and I love his work. He's so good, and this film is great. I've seen it a couple of times. It's 99 Homes, and the actor is Michael Shannon. He is just so intense and so good. I also, by bringing this film, get to have another Andrew Garfield film, so that's pretty cool. But Michael Shannon, he absolutely, for me, is top 25 actors, bringing 99 Homes. Next one, he's an all-time favorite, of course, because he's on my top 25. You might know him most from his television show, which is what I've seen most of his work in, but this film is so good. And the actor is Andy Griffith in A Face in the Crowd. If you've never seen this one, highly recommend it. Very appropriate for today and what we're going through in our culture, in our time. This is from 1957, but very appropriate for today. A Face in the Crowd. Andy Griffith, he's definitely in my top 25. Next is in my opinion, the greatest superhero film of all time, starring the legendary Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. This is a film, when it came out, I saw it 3 times in IMAX, and I've seen it a bunch of times since. And Heath Ledger, amazing artist, and we lost way too soon. And I've loved all of his work, but this film in particular, brilliant. Absolutely love it. So Heath Ledger makes my top 25. Next, another all-time incredible genius actor, legend for sure. And this, it might be my favorite film of his. I love it so much. And it is The Book of Eli, Denzel Washington. This is so good. I absolutely did not pick up on the thing you find out at the end until the very end. So good. Everything he does is incredible. But love this one. Denzel Washington, without a doubt, top 25. Denzel Washington is like top 5, maybe top 3. He's incredible. Next one, we're going back to some comedy. One of my all-time favorites. He makes me laugh consistently, and it is Chris Farley in Tommy Boy. He obviously didn't have a huge body of work, but his work was really fun, especially the earlier years. If you watch his later stuff, he was really struggling personally, and you see it on film. But in the early years, you just see this sweet, huge heart, hilarious guy. So Tommy Boy, Chris Farley's making my top 25. I love him. He makes me laugh. Gotta have some comedy in there. So Chris Farley and Tommy Boy. Next, he is one of my all-time favorites, and he makes me laugh, and all the time. I think I have 19 or 20 of his films in my collection. We're going with the first of this double feature, and it is Walter Matthau in Grumpy Old Men. So we got Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men. I'm going right here with Grumpy Old Men. Walter Matthau, every time, easily in my top 25. Next, we're going to another old school actor who is obviously legend status. Keep a count how many I've said. I don't know how many, I'm not going to count them, but I've said it a lot. Legend. And he's one of my favorites, and in bringing this film in particular, it deserves a Blu-ray release, first of all. Criterion would be great. It's a George Stevens film, has Ronald Colman in it, more importantly, Jean Arthur is in it, and it is the talk of the town. This is a really great film, and Cary Grant was awesome in this one. So I do recommend this one. It's got a DVD release, which I'm excited about. I'll be more excited for a Blu-ray release. But anyway, talk of the town, Cary Grant, he absolutely makes top 25 list. And I'm on to my last stack. I had 3 stacks, the last stack. One of my favorites of his work, I've seen a bunch of his stuff, he's phenomenal. It's Adam Driver in Patterson. If you've never seen this one, don't sleep on it, check it out. I think Adam Driver is one of our best actors today. I think he's phenomenal, and I can't wait to see what he continues to put out. But Patterson is phenomenal, and he makes my list. Next is a guy who I love what he did on television, but what he's done in film has been incredible, and he has incredible range, and it's Steve Carell in Dan in Real Life. If you've never seen this one, it's really, really good. It's tough. There's a lot of heart stuff in it, and it's tough and funny at the same time. So I highly recommend this one, Dan in Real Life. Steve Carell absolutely makes top 25 for me. Next, Hugh Jackman in Logan. I love this film. I love him in this character. I love Hugh Jackman all around. The Greatest Showman is so good. But this one, Logan, is amazing. And so this makes top 25 for me. Hugh Jackman and Logan's the film I'm taking. Next one is an actor whose work, I've never seen a film of his that I didn't love, didn't think it was outstanding. And I want to continue to build up my library of his filmography, and the film is Lilies of the Field with Sidney Poitier. He was amazing. Like, he was an amazing human being and an amazing actor, and his work is so good. I was really thankful. Twilight Time, when they went under, their edition of this film became really expensive, and then Kino came out and saved the day, and they re-released this one, and so glad they did. Really thankful to have this film in the collection. Sidney Poitier absolutely makes my top 25. Actors, so good. Next, we're going back to comedy again, and this is a film that I find really fun, and it's Be Kind, Rewind, and we're going with Jack Black. And he's great in it. Mos Def is phenomenal in this as well. I love this film. It's really fun, really fun. Just a cool, fun, easy watch. Be Kind, Rewind, Jack Black. He's making my top 25. Another one who I have a ton of his work, absolutely love him, and I chose this film because in all of the other parts of this challenge, I've chosen other ones of his, but this one's really great, and I don't hear enough people talk about this one. The actor is James Stewart, and the film is Harvey. I'm really glad I picked this one up a few years ago, and I love it. It is a ton of fun. James Stewart is incredible in everything he does, but this one's great. So friends, if you have not seen this one, this is really, really fun. And yes, that's a giant rabbit there. So anyway, check this one out. James Stewart absolutely makes top 25. This next actor absolutely makes top 25 as well. I have a ton of his stuff, and so it was hard to pick, but I decided to go with this one. And it is from 1940, and it's Charlie Chaplin in The Great Dictator. This Criterion release. Chaplin, genius. I didn't go with one of his silent films, I went with one of his talkies. So The Great Dictator, that's what we're going with for Chaplin. He makes my 25. I have 4 more, including the Ensemble pick. Next one is, I love this guy, but this is, in my opinion, the greatest thing he's ever done. I love this one so much, and I've watched it a dozen, maybe 24 times, and it is Keanu Reeves in John Wick. This is, like, to me, this is the greatest action film of all time. Absolutely love it. John Wick, Keanu Reeves, he makes my top 25. This next film makes me laugh really hard, makes me cry really hard, and I love this guy, and I miss him. I've gone too soon. Wish we had more of his work, but we have an enormous amount that we get to watch over and over again. But this film is my favorite of his, and it is Robin Williams and Patch Adams. This is such a beautiful film. It's heartbreaking, but there's joy in it and hope in it. And I love this one. It's so good. Robin Williams, he gets me every single time. Anyway, Robin Williams makes my top 25 easily, and that's Patch Adams. 2 more friends, including my Ensemble pick. This last one, this is hard to pick one of his films because he has so many and so many phenomenal, great films. But this is one that's kind of one of his lesser known films I don't hear anyone talk about that was actually really, really great. And it is Mel Gibson in Get the Gringo. He obviously makes my top 25. Get the Gringo, yeah, don't sleep on this one. If you've never seen it, check it out. He makes my top 25 for sure. And then last one, we've got to pick a ensemble film as well. So I know there's extra points, not really, but there's extra points if the bigger the cast. So I could have pulled like an Ocean's 11 or 12 or 13, one of those kinds of films. But I went with one that I haven't heard anyone talk about. I think this film is really funny. I really enjoy it. And it has 3 incredible actors who I have not mentioned yet in my top 25, who I would love to have some of their work with me if I'm on that desert island. And this features Morgan Freeman, amazing, Michael Caine, amazing, Alan Arkin, amazing, and it is going in style. This film is really, really fun. If you've never seen it, check it out. I want to say I picked this up at the Dollar Tree, but it's so good. I've seen it multiple times. A lot of fun, and just 3 unbelievable actors. So friends, those are my top 25 actors and my ensemble pick. Let me know if you've seen those films, what you think of my picks. Let me know who I left off that you think I should have added to my 25. It's really tough picking 25, but I'm confident in these 25. Huck, thank you so much for inviting us to be a part of this challenge. Again, this is really, really fun. So thank you so much for doing this. We've got actresses and directors coming up. And anyway, Huck, thank you so much. Friends, check out all the links below. Subscribe, follow his channel, his Instagram account. Real cool guy, and putting out some really cool and creative content. Friends, thank you so much for checking out this video. As always, I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourself. We'll see you next time.